Welcome back to Cosmeholics Anonymous. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is Facing the Facts. This is obviously the new Botox, so same concept. I'm here to give your lives a lift, offer my advice, and tell you the truth. Our first entry, wishy-washy boyfriend and I'm pregnant. Hi, Bo. I love your videos and I wish nothing but the best for you and your girls. Thank you very much. I am dating someone in the military with ADHD who cheated on me in the past and has shown me multiple sides. When me and my mom are watching Forensic Files, it's always the military man, okay? And we're always like, we would never date a military man. Not that all military men are bat-ish crazy, but like a lot of them be ending up on Forensic Files. Just say. In the past, I've offered breaking up and he's told me I was giving up, so I stayed. Manipulation. We decided to work it out and we have been okay for the most part, but recently when he went to drill, we had a small argument because I got emotional because I felt like our new puppy noticed he was gone. I know, very stupid. We stopped talking for a few days and during this time I found out I am pregnant. Explains the moodiness. But when I told him, he started saying he wants to break up and be friends. I know you lying. I don't know if I want that after one argument, but I told him when he gets back from his month-long deployment, we can talk and see. He returns the 1st of July. Okay, so he came back a few days ago. Okay. What do I do if I want to work it out because of how minute the argument was? Is it just an argument in anger? Or is it a waste of time? Sorry this message is so long. My mama passed recently. Oh, my condolences. And I have no one to talk to. Thank you for listening. Sincerely 25-year-old pregnant Tay. Okay, the first thing I'm going to say is just because you have children with somebody does not mean that you have to be with them. That's number one. I am living proof of this now. You do not have to stay with him because you're pregnant. Yes, it is going to be hard to be a single mom. I'm a single mom. It is hard. It is not easy. I applaud all of the single moms out there. Bravo, bravo, all that. But I feel like your situation is multi-layered. The warning signs are already there. You're saying you have seen him angry. And also, he has ADHD. That's going to probably play a big role in the parenting side of things because it's obviously untreated, and he's also in the military, so there's a lot of things there that can potentially put you and your baby at risk. Me personally, I would probably opt out of the relationship and I would be like, oh great, like thanks that you don't want to be with me now. Like if somebody's gonna tell you that they don't want to be with you anymore after you tell them that you're pregnant, just take that as a sign that God is saving you from something. Don't try to work it out. There's nothing to work out. There's literally nothing to work out because all the signs are there. You're gonna come back a few years later and be like, you wish you would have left when you saw the red flags. And I know you're seeing them because you're emailing me about that. You don't have your mom to talk to anymore, but I'm glad that you reached out to me and even asked me and told me this, and hopefully you have already left because you said he came back on July 1st. Today is the 14th. My prayer for you is that you find the strength to leave and take that opportunity to live your best life for you and your child, because the last thing you want to do is raise the child in a toxic environment, which, as you have already expressed, he has been toxic. He's cheated. He has shown you multiple sides of anger. That anger only escalates. It only escalates. And people that are suffering with ADHD tend to not be able to regulate their emotions. Not all the people, but a lot of them. Get out. Hey Bo, I tried to keep this email as short as I could without leaving out details. Love your channel, been subscribed since I was 16. Thank you very much. I've known my boyfriend for about 5 years. We've been in an official relationship for 2 years. I met him when I was 18 and he was 22, so there is a tiny age gap. I think that age gap is good. 22, 18, it's all right. We have a 3-year-old daughter. The math is not mathing together. The math is not mathing, ma'am. Y'all have been together for 2 years. You've known him for 5, but you have a 3-year-old daughter. Okay. The problem is he isn't affectionate. I know people show their emotions different, but he is just beyond weird. We haven't been on one date since we met. We don't cuddle at night. We don't kiss on the lips, and I don't orgasm from penetration. And even though he is aware, he doesn't like to give oral. He says he doesn't want more kids, but we don't use protection besides the withdrawal method. And I taken so many plan Bs I can't even count. You are giving me irresponsible. But I'm going to keep reading. During my pregnancy, I was so alone. He wanted me to get an abortion and I refused due to my own beliefs. So you got pregnant before you guys even got into a relationship, and he wanted you to have an abortion, and you're still deciding to date him after the fact. I'm a little thrown off here, but I'm not going to judge you. I kept him updated about everything during my pregnancy, and he never acknowledged that I was pregnant with his child. We saw each other every day, multiple times a day, because not only were we still intimate having sex, but we worked together. I was threatened multiple times during my pregnancy by one particular girl he used to be sexually involved with. He never stood up for me. Immediately after I had my child, he turned into a completely different person and everything was going great. He was around every day and we were actually like a family. I snooped through his phone one night because he fell asleep with it open, which he normally doesn't do. I saw him inviting girls out to the movies, calling other women beautiful, etc. He never calls me beautiful. I'll insert a picture. I'm not ugly at all. Okay, but my problem with the picture you sent me is, why are you sending me a picture of your ass? I don't know what it's giving, but like, this is not the picture that I would send if I'm trying to say I'm not ugly. I don't know why you sent me this picture in particular, but okay. I can never get him to take me out on a date, even if I plan and ask to pay for it. Yeah, no. He also went through my phone while I was on vacation, but only found a text from one guy that I didn't even respond to, and of course he flipped. They tend to do that. I really wanted it to work, but it feels like he'll never change. I just want to be happy and feel the same love I give out. He's an amazing dad, but he sucks as a partner. I just graduated college, so I have a lot of goals and plan to provide a better life for my child and but I don't want anybody riding my coattail that doesn't really want me. What should I do? Girl, you already answered your own question. You know what you need to do. Leave that man alone, because you're being irresponsible. You're not using protection. You're not on birth control. You're popping Plan Bs. They just overturned Roe versus Wade. I don't think you have the time to be acting silly about this. And you wouldn't get an abortion anyway. That's neither here nor there. But this is not the time to be laying up with anybody and potentially ruining your future because you are allowing this person to be intimate with you when they are showing everything to say they don't even want to be with you. To not take you out on dates when you're even offering to pay is a little crazy, because it seems like you're begging him to be with you and he is entertaining other women. He's calling them beautiful. You're saying he never calls you beautiful. Out of all the pictures you could have sent me, I don't think this is the one. I don't know if you've posted this picture on the internet, but like, I feel like we need to do some soul searching. I feel like, and by we I mean you, everybody does, but like, I'm talking specifically to you. I feel like your self-esteem might not be where it should be, and I feel like you leaving this person alone and doing soul searching and finding out who you are is really important right now, especially for your child, especially because your child is a little girl. There's certain things, certain examples that we need to set for little girls, and we can't if we're not self-aware, and we also can't if, you know, we don't have it in us. So I really feel like you should spend time with yourself and spend time with God even, and just figure out who you are, what you want out of life. And you've already stated that this person is somebody that would be riding your coattails. He's not for you. He's already shown you that. It's time to move on. And I'm speaking from experience myself. So we're leaving dead weight where it belongs, in the rear view, in the past, behind us. We don't have time for this. Like, absolutely not. You will find somebody that loves you for you, that treats you better, that will take you out, that you want to spoil because they're spoiling you as well. You'll find that. You're not going to find it with this person, so move on. You don't have to stay with him because you guys have a child, period. The next email is called Grieving. Hi, Bo. I've watched you for years and never thought I would be the one to email in. I lost my father earlier this year. My condolences. By far the most traumatic thing I've ever been through. It also happened relatively fast. In the matter of 4 months, we found out he was sick and then he left us. My daddy was my heart, and I don't know how to cope. I'm trying to find resources so I can speak to a therapist. I live in Toronto, as I cannot afford one. Also, I'm kind of nervous to open up, but I need to try because this pain is so unusual and fresh, and quite frankly, unbearable. Everyone says I'm functioning and seem to be grieving in a healthy way, but I feel like I'm losing my mind. Why I constantly brush my feelings aside every day so I don't spiral into a psychotic breakdown. This is why I seem normal or functional, because I ignore and suppress my feelings. The pain is too much to face head on. I've had amazing support from my mom, brothers, and best friend who is like a sister, which is also why I think I haven't spiraled yet. But the rest of my family, who I thought I was close with, is causing me so much more stress and has made this grieving process a million times worse. Well, for the people that are supporting you, continue to go to them, turn to them. Get a journal, write your feelings down every single day if you can remember to, every single week, whatever works for you. That's the first part of the advice. The second part of the advice is for the people that are stressing you out, stop talking to them. Stop talking to them. Stop talking to them. Cut them off. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to be in relationship with them. If they're stressing you out, especially at a time like this when you're trying to grieve, eliminate them so that you can have peace of mind. You've been speaking a lot about narcissism on your page, and it's been so insightful because I'm realizing that I'm surrounded by them. I really thought the situation would bring us closer, but it did the opposite, proving that my dad was clearly the glue of this family. So when my grandmother died, same situation, right? And to this day, she died in 2015, and to this day, there are problems that need to be solved, and they really are not being solved. I'm gonna share something when we get to the end of your email. Sometimes I don't believe it's real. I've only had 25 years with him. I expected him to see me get married, have kids, be successful in my career, take care of him. It all ended so abruptly and so tragically. Cancer. I've always been seen as a daddy's girl, and now he's gone. What do I do? A piece of me is in heaven now. You're gonna make me cry. Can you so bittersweet. So grateful he knew Christ before he left. I also experience a lot of guilt. I am extremely emotional, sensitive, and get overwhelmed easily. So although my father and I had a great relationship, it was a little strained sometimes because of my emotional outbursts and snapping. He told me many times that I get on his nerves, but he loves me and appreciates me, especially when he was sick. But I can't shake this feeling. He didn't get the opportunity to see me finally get a handle on my feelings and mature emotionally. I feel robbed almost. Okay. Well, at least I know that it was the Almighty that took him, and we'll be reconciled once again. There's so much more to say and dive into, but I need years to dissect and unpack all of this trauma. I haven't even processed it. Have you ever dealt with grief? Do you have any advice on how to move forward, how to cope? How to detach myself from my family has to be in my life right now because of the will my father left. Where to receive affordable therapy or sessions that are covered in full. Maybe there's not really much to say and I just needed the space to vent. I don't know, but pray for me. It really does help. Love, lot. I would like to stay anonymous, please. P.S. My sister watches you too and might see this and know it's me. So embarrassing. Unfortunately, we don't live near each other anymore. She's not one of the asshole family members. If you see this, hey. Have I ever dealt with grief? Yes. Matter of fact, the last weekend when I had gone to Toronto, obviously I went to visit my grandmother's gravesite, and I was sobbing. I was crying. I'm gonna cry right now. This is annoying. I was literally at her tombstone and I was just bawling my eyes out because, okay, so my grandma, one of our last interactions was the last time I actually saw my grandma and took pictures with her was Mother's Day, shortly before she passed away, and we were all out to dinner. But before that, my last interactions with her was I was really struggling, I was early 20s and everybody feels like you have to have it figured out. Old Jamaican people, they think you have to have it figured out, I was I had no stability. And so my grandma, I was walking in my aunt's house and my grandma was there, and I was walking past my grandma and she grabbed onto my wrist. She grabbed onto my wrist and was talking to me about what I'm gonna do. And she just wanted me to be successful, and she just cared genuinely about where my life was headed. And she didn't see that I was doing anything with my life, so she was just concerned for me, and she just wanted the best for me. And obviously at that time when she literally, I always talk about how I always tell my mom how my grandma put the grip of life on my wrist that day. And so when I went to her gravesite. Obviously, I don't live in Toronto, so I don't get to go often, and it hadn't been in a few years. So when I went this time, I was sobbing. I was absolutely sobbing because I had my kids with me, and like so much has gone on, and like I pulled so much of my strength from her, and she was the strongest person next to my mom that I know. And I was just talking to her, and you know, I was saying I wish she could be here to see me right now because I kind of got it together. But like, I was just, I know she would be proud of me. So it doesn't really, you know, get easier. Every time I go see her, I cry. But the last time I went, I was just, you know, I was a wreck. And so it's okay though. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to have feelings and be unsure about your feelings. It's okay to miss the people that you love. And so yes, I have dealt with grief. I'm still dealing with grief, and a hard part about grieving or my grandmother passing is seeing how it affects my mom, because it's like you feel helpless, like you can't do anything. And so sometimes it just comes over my mom, and like I have to, like, you know, show my mom that I'm there for her, but I can never understand it because I haven't lost a parent. You know, I would be distraught if I lost my mom, obviously. Like, you know, I wouldn't know how to cope. So I can't relate to you in the sense that I've lost a parent, but I definitely have lost somebody that obviously can never be replaced, and that meant something to me. And I've never gone to counseling per se or therapy for grief, but I think that there are meetings out there. If you Google, I don't know where to direct you, where to point you into therapy. The only reason that I ended up with a free therapist is because I was fleeing abuse. So the resources were there for me. I don't know about grief if you can find, but I know that there are meetings for stuff like that. So just Google it and see if you can find somewhere to go. Lucky for you, there was a will. So whatever the will says, hopefully it can just be divided equally. And once the will situation is over, you can move on with your life. After people die, and you know, whether there's a will or no will, it seems like the family drama always persists. My grandma unfortunately did not leave a will, and that has caused a lot of issues for the family. And actually what happened too with the grave site, we left flowers there, and then not even 5 days later, so like I think maybe 4 days later, my mom's nephew went, and he was having trouble finding it, so he had FaceTimed us. And so when he finally got to the gravesite, I was asking if he sees our flowers there, and he told me they were gone. And so they were purposely removed, and it disgusted me. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but like, those flowers were left there for my grandma, and the fact that somebody maliciously went there and removed them because they knew that we went to visit is just disgusting. That's neither here nor there, but hopefully you won't have to deal with something as sick as that, because that's what we had to deal with. And my mom and me, like, we were dumbfounded when he told us that the flowers were gone, because they don't clean up the gravesites. Like, if the ones beside my grandma, the flowers will be there forever, like until you go and remove them. So yeah, that's the kind of sick people that we're dealing with in our family, that people would actually remove, her children would remove flowers from her gravestone because they don't like my mom or they don't like me. Like, that's crazy. And so that makes it even harder to grieve in a healthy way. But I thank you for sharing with me, and I thank you for opening up. And like, I want to offer you that support. I will pray for you. If you ever just have to cry, if you ever feel the need to let it out, let it out. Do not hold it in. But don't forget to get that journal and write down your feelings every single day, just so they're not staying inside of you. I don't know that it will get easier. There will be days that it's really hard, and there will be days that it's not so hard. And you know, if I'm being honest with myself as well, even through my divorce, I am grieving, you know, and so I'm grieving a lot of different things. It's not death, but sometimes it feels that way, right? So I'm constantly having to deal with grief. It's normal, and your feelings are normal and they're valid. And the last thing I want to say is don't take on any guilt. Guilt is from the devil. It is a lie from the pits of hell, you know. You don't have to feel guilty about anything. I'm dealing with right now with somebody that doesn't know how to control their emotions, and it's been hard to navigate. And so I'm happy for you that you're starting to be able to do it. And yes, your daddy didn't get to see you be able to do it, but he's still watching you and supporting you from heaven. So just live in that. Okay, this next one is called I Am the Evil Manipulator. Hi, I just wanted to start by saying that I love your channel and I appreciate you for giving your subscribers an outlet to talk and somewhere to vent without judgment. Please keep me anonymous if I make it into a video. I am not proud of the person I am. This is gonna be the last one for the day. Okay, so I don't want to make this too long, but for some background, I am 19 years old. I'm a sophomore in college. In all my life, I can say that I have struggled with overthinking, anxiety, and believing that people don't like me as much as they actually do, which causes me to become very mean to those I have romantic interest in, even if I don't want to actually treat them in a mean way. I pull away or lash out because I never really was taught how to express myself in a healthy manner. Almost a year ago, I met a girl, I'm also a girl by the way, who was very patient, kind, and all around a very special person to me. But because I don't know how to be level-headed and honest, I'm constantly taking this girl on a roller coaster of emotions and confusing the hell out of her. Some days I hate that I ever met her, and other days I want to be around her for hours. Because of my inconsistent emotions though, she has pulled away and I have begun to notice her taking interest in another girl, but it hurts because I want her all to myself. I know I could though if I change. Trust me, I'm very aware that she doesn't deserve to be treated the way that I treat her, and I am always beating myself up over it. We haven't talked in a few weeks because she thinks that I hate her, but that's not the case at all. I haven't been able to sleep lately thinking about her, and I spend hours of my day thinking about her. I want to show her that I care about her in the way she cares about me, but I don't know how. I've made her believe that there are things wrong with her to make me treat her the way I do. Okay, this is a little triggering for me, I'm not gonna lie. I have called her names, embarrassed her in front of friends, made her leave parties early because of my own insecurities, and repeatedly told her that she's not good enough. All while she keeps a smile on her face and does everything in her power to please me. When I think back and realize how terrible of a person I am, I go back and try to make it up to her, and she always takes me back. I don't think she's ever been mad at me for longer than 2 days. I know she deserves better than me, and I desperately want to change for her. She's constantly begging me to be more affectionate, caring, kind, and even do the simple things like compliment her, but because I wasn't really taught how, she's pulling all of the weight. Due to my feelings of guilt and jealousy over the attention she's been giving this other girl, I have blocked her and cut off all of our communication. I hate to lose her because she's nothing like I've ever experienced before. Please give me some advice because I don't want to permanently screw this up and lose her for good. You need to leave her alone because you have self-work to do. You need to work on yourself. You don't need to be with anybody right now. You need to be with yourself. You need to go to therapy. You need to heal whatever issues that you have going on. You need to get your self-esteem up. You need to figure out what makes you do the things that you do and stop making excuses for the behavior. Stop saying you weren't taught how to do this. You desperately want to do better, but you're not able to for whatever reason. There's a block there and you need to beat the block down before you go and ruin somebody's life. What you just described to me is pretty much what I went through, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, okay? I love the fact that you're taking accountability. I love the fact that you are saying you know that you're wrong, but the next thing that you have to consider is, okay, I'm wrong, what am I gonna do about it? And if there is nothing that can fix your issue, then you need to just be alone. You know, you should not string somebody along like that. It's not fair to them, because the fact of the matter is, no matter what now, she's gonna go into a new relationship or something with issues from you, because you have been beating up on her. To me, you're speaking out of two sides of your mouth, because you're saying you are doing these things, you know they're wrong, but you keep doing them. However you're feeling about yourself, you're trying to project onto her, and you're trying to make her small. You're trying to make her smaller than she is, and eventually she's gonna believe it. Like you said, she never stays mad at you for longer than 2 days. I'm glad that you blocked her. I'm glad that you have moved on. She's probably feeling confused, but also feeling peace. And there's nothing like peace, okay? I've been experiencing peace for a few months now, and I would not trade it for anything in the world. There's nothing like peace when you are separated from a toxic person. All I know is that you have healing to do, healing within yourself. And perhaps you can't do it when you're with this person because she's might be everything that you want to be. So there's a jealousy there that you're not even in tune with yet. My advice to you is to keep her blocked. You know, my advice to you is to actually tell her, look, I have issues. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. I have to distance myself from you because I need to fix what's going on with me. Seek therapy, seek help. I'm not even going to pursue you after that. I'm going to keep working on my relationship with myself because I'm not fit to be with anybody right now. I'm not fit to be with you or another girl. I need to work on me. So I am sorry for everything that I've done, for any hurt that I've caused you. I wish I could take back the things that I've said and done to you, but I know that I can't. So I'm just expressing to you how sorry I am and that I really just need to be alone right now. So I'm not ghosting you, but I am going to block you and not have anything to do with you so that you can have peace and I can have peace knowing that I'm not hurting you any further because I'm not sure that I can even stop hurting you. Simple as that. Some people might see that. The girl might see it and be like, you know, I love you and I'm willing to work with you through it, but you have to stand firm and be like, no, let me go, please. I have to do this for me and you'll be better off without me. Also say this is not reverse psychology. I'm not saying this so that you will beg me to stay with you so that I can continue to abuse you. Make sure you add that. Please do not pursue me further. And you move on from her and you stop hurting her and you heal yourself. And then maybe one day you can be with somebody else. Anyway, you guys, there's lots more emails to read, but I have to go. If you want to email me for Face the Facts / Botox, the email is in the description box. Facing the Facts with a Z @gmail.com. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.